Hey there, Pastor Catherine here with your thought for the day. This morning I found myself reading Matthew 3, the baptism of Jesus, and really was grateful that I had been brought to that verse, that passage this morning. It speaks of how when Jesus gets baptized, as he comes out of the water, he hears his Father's voice speaking over him, words of identity. This is my Son whom I love, with him I am well pleased. These words of affirmation and identity came before Jesus had done anything. Before he had started his ministry, he heard these words of identity and affirmation from his Father. And these same words that were spoken to Jesus are spoken over us by our Father God. Before we achieve anything, before we find ourselves filling our time with any sort of purpose, we have words of encouragement and love and identity spoken over us. We are the sons and daughters of the Father, and he loves us and is well pleased with us. This isn't an identity that we can earn. It isn't an identity that we can lose. It's not an identity that's impacted by our circumstance or how we're feeling about God or about the world in a particular moment. And it's an identity that is with us from the beginning. And I just want to encourage you this morning that can you find a way when you wake up in the morning to remind yourself, be reminded of that truest identity, the truest form of who you are. Before you look at your phone, before you read your emails, before you maybe even talk to your family members, is there a way that you can ground yourself in the truth of who you really are? Your grounded, most like fundamental, basic identity as a child of God who is loved and claimed by him? And can you allow that to be the space from which everything that you do during the day pours? I want to encourage you to think about whether there are ways that you can do that, because it is true. You are a beloved child, son, daughter of God. He loves you and he is well pleased with you, and that doesn't go away. It's not dependent on anything other than him. And God our Father is the same yesterday, today, and forever.